This is standard work practice, 223. It is important and required to complete a pre-operational inspection on your haul truck, for your safety and the integrity of the equipment. Use 3 points of contact when getting in and out of the truck. Examine the work area prior to conducting the work. Look for obstructions, poor stability, poor visibility, excessive water, other equipment or people. Stop equipment a safe distance away from high walls, berms, ponds, or new excavations where loose material could be a hazard. Follow the designated routes. Keep your hands and head inside the cab and close the windows while loading, to avoid contact with potentially falling material and accumulation of dust. It is good practice to create a path in the shape of a loop near the material being loaded and use the pull-through loading method. This method avoids having to back up and increases productivity. Do not park next to a material face or the edge of the tip, especially if you are unsure of material stability. Ensure proper communication with the operator when you start loading and when loading is complete. A good practice is to make eye contact with the operator. Typically, you will start to be loaded when you have stopped, either backed up to stockpile or stopped at the designated location of the pull-through. It is important not to move after stopping to prevent confusion. If you need to adjust, communicate that to the operator who is loading. The loading operator will honk when you have been completely loaded. The truck operator can also honk when they want to be finished being loaded. When backing up, you can always use a spotter. Spotter should never stand in blind spots. Stop backing up immediately if you lose sight of the spotter. Frequently check location of any ground personnel to ensure they are not in path of the working equipment. When backing up to the load area, ensure ground is level and your truck is straight. Reverse at a slow speed, using your mirrors. When you have finished dumping, pull forward and put your box down immediately before driving anywhere. Be aware of ground conditions from normal use of the path. The pathway may need to be maintained throughout the shift to avoid large ruts. Be aware of weather changes that affect ground conditions including rain, snow, freezing, and thawing. Avoid overheating brakes. Frequently check the gauges to be sure fluid pressures are adequate, preventing excessive transmission shifting and ultimately engine shutdown. In addition, always grease your machine. Grease type, amount, and locations can be found in the manual. Unsafe loading conditions could include no berm or restraint, too small of a berm, an edge of a pile that is weak because it is oversteepened, an edge of a pile that has been undercut, cracks or slides near edge of pile, or a pile that is on a weak foundation. To avoid these hazards, the stockpiles should be well built and the loader should take material from the entire face, making a straight line. Avoid leaving tails on the edges of a pile. Other hazards include inadequate illumination for nighttime operations, poor visibility during inclement weather, and inadequate clearance between equipment and overhead power lines. Finally, understand there are a couple of safety features installed on your haul truck for your safety. The first is your seat belt. Always wear your seat belt to enable you to remain in the operator's seat and in control while in operation or an emergency situation. Ensure you understand the emergency procedures if the engine fails, enabling emergency steering controls. It is essential to your safety and those around you. Notify your lead or supervisor immediately of the unsafe condition. Together, we can all do our part in ensuring a safe workplace.